everybody. I want to make sure I got my sound up. First time I use this. And this is the first time I've ever used this stand, so I want to make sure that, let me see. Yep. This is the first time I've ever used this stand, so I want to make sure. Turn my sound down on my computer. And what we are doing today is I am getting ready to finish one of these frame inserts for a customer, and I thought maybe you guys would just like to watch me finish it. So let me take all of these off my board, and I'm going to bring you down so you can see these and not my ugly mug here. There, how's that? That looks good. So, as you know, I usually put masking tape on my boards. So I painted these yesterday. Got them all painted. So they dry overnight. Now I gotta take them off my board. And put that one down there. And I gotta have a few of these. These are my finger dubbers. And let's see what paints I need. I need a white, my white paint. I need my white, and I need I think I used black last time because it's kind of like all black. And so what I'm going to do is put my edge around here, and all you need is just a teeny tiny bit. I should have shaken this up. I just filled this so it's like brand new. Then I'm going to get a dauber. I got that on my finger, and I got to get my napkin out here. And really the only thing I'm gonna daub with the white is the outside edge, because nothing else gets daubed. So I'm just gonna get most of it off. Sometimes I'll put it on my finger and then I just kind of like go around the edge. I might have to fill it. This one's a new one, hasn't been used yet. So everybody been good? I haven't been on. I bet it's been before Christmas. That I haven't done a live in ages. I don't know, during Christmas you just get so busy with family, and we were running back and forth to Minnesota. So yeah, it was just pretty crazy. So it's like, I gotta get on. I gotta show everybody that I'm still alive. So I got so many orders I gotta finish right now. Then I have so many projects I want to do. So I hope you guys can see that pretty good. It seems like it's dark when I bring it up this way. Let's see, let me look on my computer is like probably about 10 seconds behind. But yeah, it does seem like when I bring it up there, you can't see the colors. But if I leave it back here a little bit, then you can. So, but anyway, I don't have a real pronounced white line there. So I'm just gonna do a little bit here and there to get it pronounced more, and you probably won't even see this because I'm going to put a white line around the edge. So, and I'm sorry if I sound stuffy, but when I was over in Minnesota 3 weeks ago, my wonderful grandchildren were there, and Always give Grandma a cold. Always. But I love them anyway. So, okay, so there's my white. And I'm just going to set this over to the side. I'm not going to wash it out yet. Usually I'll throw it in my cup of water here. But I'm not going to do that quite yet, just because I might, I just might use it on something else, but I doubt that. But I'm going to put this off to the side. And then I'm going to get, I think I'm not going to use that. I think I'm going to use brown instead. I think I'm going to use brown instead of the black. So I'm just going to put a little bit on. Actually, with that, you only need like a dot anyway. So here's my, I'll put that up here a little bit more. Here's my dauber, and I've used this dauber before on like a blue, but I washed it out really good, and since I'm going with a darker color, I think it'll be just fine. I don't think, if I was using white, I don't know if I would, just because, you know, it might bleed a little bit. So this, I'm just going to go around the edge just a little bit to make it a little bit kind of like it's been a little bit dirty, I guess is the word. There's that. Then you want to, this is a honey brown that I used on here, and this is, it's pretty much like a dark brown that I'm using. So get that around there. And you kind of want to go on your edges, you know, like in like this area. You know, make it a little bit, you know, not thin like this, but make it like a little bit more, you know, dirty in the edges. Don't know if you can kind of see that. But see, you just have a thin line here, and then when you get on your edges, then you can do like a more pronounced line of dirt. So go around there. So what's the weather like where you're at? Yesterday we got snow. And I was like, enough of this winter. Now this is the bees' wing. I'm not going to do the wing because I want it to be very pretty and white, but I am going to do the cloth that holds the I guess the jar of honey. I guess that's what you would call it. Okay, so say I got a little bit too much because I just really don't like this line so pronounced. You could take one of these fabulous wipies here. This is that brand that I love. It's called Tippy Toes, but it doesn't leave a lot of that felting on your project. But you can kind of go over this and just kind of wipe it off, and you know, until it dries, it's pretty wipeable. So okay, we've got to put that off to the side. I always kind of roll them up a little bit, then it'll stay nicer. So yeah, I don't want that super duper dark, but just a, you know, just a little bit, just so, you know, you could kind of, there. I think today is supposed to get up into 50 degrees. I will take it. It's like one day closer to spring. So I got to start thinking about what kind of flowers I'm going to put. Well, I'm not going to put flowers. I'm going to do shrubs in front of the tree. So, okay, so I got my bee skeep, and then I got, whatever this thing is called. What is that called? Where you dip the honey out, a honey dipper. So I'm going to go around that, get my edges a little bit, kind of go down that. Doesn't, you know, it doesn't, when you're doing this, it doesn't really seem like you're putting it on there, but really you are. I don't know if you can see this, because it's kind of like my light is not very good. I'm going to see if you can see that. So, okay, those I don't want to do And I think that's about it on those. So then we can kind of start gluing it, but actually before I glue it, I want to, this is a pin I get. They're NIUTOP, and it's an extra fine tip. I get these off of Amazon, and they're like a box of, hang on, let me get that. These pins right here. I think, how many you get in there? 8-pack. Get like an 8-pack. And these are from Amazon. And if I think about it, if I don't forget, which sometimes I do, if I don't forget, I'll put the link on in the comments. So, and I will be, this is on my insert. This insert is on my Square page. I haven't got it on Etsy yet because I haven't got any of my frames yet on Etsy, but these are one of these that you have to shake up. So you get that all shaky up, and then make sure, remember, always kind of like push it down, make sure the ink is flowing good, make sure you don't got no gigantic drips there. And then I am going to make little stitch lines all the way around here. I really do like these pins, because actually I have not opened one of these pins. I bet it's been a good year since I've opened one of these pins. I just keep using the same one, and I think they're like rabbits. It just never runs out inside there. So we're just going to make our little stitch lines around there. You know, even if you have a black, you could do black stitch lines, or you could, you know, I find this very easy to do with the pin, because then I don't have to go back and keep dipping it in the paint. But you can use, I have little teeny tiny paintbrushes that you can use if you want to, but I find this just as easy. So, okay, so let's go finish. And see, as you can, I should have got another piece of paper. Let me see if I have another piece of paper that doesn't have so much writing all over it. Then you can kind of see, so this other paint, you can, there you go. Now you can see better. And go around the edge. I'm sorry I can't see your comments. I was hoping they would come up on my computer screen, but obviously they aren't. So, okay, so I think that's all I'm gonna do on that one, and then I gotta find my black. These I get at Hobby Lobby. It's called the Paper Studio, and I do believe there's 3 of these that I get. There's a 1, a 3, and the 5, I might have used it already. I think the 5 I used up already. But these come in a package too, and I like the 1. The 5 is pretty good. Actually, the 5 I might have in my kit. So I always take it and get the ink flowing, you know, just kind of like do your little, you know, doohickeys around. So on the wings, I'm going to do a stitch around it also. And these, you can't go sideways, you have to go like up and down. And these are from Hobby Lobby, and they're in like the paper products, you know, where you can buy paper and stuff. What was I looking for the other day at Hobby Lobby? And it was in the paper section, but I wasn't in the paper section. And I asked the lady, I said, do you have this item? What was that? Gosh darn, I can't remember what it was. But anyway, I asked her, she said, oh yeah, that's in the hobby department. And I sat there. It's like, say what? I said, the hobby department. I said, this whole store is a hobby department. Yeah, she kind of giggled. She said, I don't know. That's what they call it. Gosh, it was something in like paint. I can't remember what it was, but yeah. So that was that was pretty good. So, okay. So I got that one though. Those are his little wings. Those will be glued right there. And I'm not going to put anything on them. The bee dipper doesn't get anything either. And his little heart, got to put the heart there. Those go inside the bee itself. And this is going to get white around it too, but we're going to do like squiggly lines. This insert is going to my friend Melanie. And we're going to do white squiggly lines. So when you do this, let me get my pen going again. Then you just kind of just do like random, doesn't make rhyme nor reason. You just do it. You just kind of just do squiggly lines and leave like little spaces in between them, because I'll show you in a minute what you're going to do with that. So we just do squiggly lines. I mean, you don't want to do anything uniform, because when you do the uniform, then it's too uniformy. That kind of looks funky on there. It's just too uniform. So see all the squiggly lines? Got squiggly lines everywhere. I want to look on the computer and see if this, gosh darn, that's such a delay. Isn't that crazy? I wonder why it's not like the same. Let's see if it's, yeah, you can kind of see it. Let me go up a little bit more. Let's go up a little bit more. Huh. This is kind of a, it's weird how that's like, 10 seconds. I might have to do a piece of paper behind it. Let me try that out real fast. I think it's because I have this light on, maybe. Let me shut that off and see if that helps. Yeah, it kind of helps a little bit. Doesn't help me seeing down here, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do here, since you have like these little gaps in here, then just start making like little stitch marks with it. Oh, I got to tell my computer not to do an update right now. So it keeps wanting to do updates all the time. It's like, no updates allowed. Then it just screws everything else up on my computer. The other day I had my Silhouette program going. I have a 3D printer going. And my computer decided to, then I have my laser program. It was up and running. And I had about 5 projects open on it. And it decided to do a update. I lost everything, because then when it finished updating, then Silhouette, of course, shut down too, and I had some projects that I was creating on there for customers, and it was like, you got to be kidding me. All of my work went down to nothing. So there's your little stitch lines, if you can see that. Here, let me put this up here. Maybe you can see that better. You don't want to touch that. Yeah, there you can see those better. See the little stitch lines that are all the way around it? So, okay, so you got that. And now we're going to start gluing into place. So, I have my glue. I always keep my stainless steel pin in there. Because, oh, and I have my glue gun. Whoopsie, whoopsie, whoopsie. Almost losing you there. Almost lost you to the abyss of the floor. So, yeah, I got my glue gun going over here. So, I wonder why that's falling. Because I'm going to put a bow on this later. So, okay. So, got to make sure my hole is good. Then put that over there. And then, this is This is that art glitter glue. I don't know why they call it glitter because there's absolutely no glitter whatsoever in it. But that's what they call it. And so, you know, I can't fight with them on that one. I have not a clue why it's called art glitter. So, first piece, we're going to put that puppy about right there. Then I'm going to take this one because that's like all one unit. Can you see that good? I think I have to have this light on again. There we go. Then we're going to kind of make sure that's kind of like centered up and down. And let me get my handy dandy paintbrush that keeps getting smaller and smaller. This is my paintbrush that I use for getting excess glue off. And sometimes that glue just doesn't like to get off the end, no matter how much I soak it. So I just cut it off. Keep cutting it off till I get all the way down to the dummies. So here goes another one. And I do these on do-it-yourself kits too. So if you, okay, so I always kind of hold it up and look at it. Make sure there's nothing like sprouting on the edge, any glue hanging out there. Oh, yeah, see there's some glue there. So get that off of there. So then we're going to put our band on there. And if you do a do-it-yourself kit, don't put it this way, because actually, really, it won't fit that way because of the edge here. Whoa! Oopsie. I think you guys were falling again. I'm not liking the stand. Stay. There. It's like every time I move, and if I move my glue gun, the stand goes really goofy. I'm not liking this stand. Hang on, I think it's gonna fall. I think I gotta fix it again. Oh, get over here. Okay, is that better? Worse? Better? Worse? It's kind of right there. Oh well. Okay, so I gotta refill this one. Okay, there. Let's set that down. So, put this on here and make sure if you have to keep going down a little bit and then give it a good smoosh to get all of the glue going around. Okay. Okay, there's that. Now let's get Mr. B. I really don't need a lot on this one because otherwise it's gonna, because you have very thin lines. And sometimes when I have like these thin lines, I'll put it down like on a piece of paper to get like the excess, because I guarantee you this is gonna, see, like I'll just put it down there. Because it already smooshed all the way out. I don't like smoosh it out, but I do need a little bit more right there. Okay, now, this guy, he kind of goes at an angle so he could fit on there. Let's see, do I have anybody watching? Oh, I do. There's my cousin Ruth and Mandy Holzapple. Hi, Mandy. How you guys doing today? Oh, and Ginger Brown's watching too. Hi, Ginger. So, well, it says I've got one watching now. So, well, it says one watching, but it says 3 watching. So, yeah, I have no idea. So, okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to put a little bit inside of the cavity there. And then his little bodies, they go right in there. And there. And down by his bottom. Then we will put the wings on. Okay, so see now I know for sure that I have a lot on there. That's like way too much. So I'm just going to take that and get most of it off. And then see when you do that, then it kind of goes everywhere too. So we're going to put that on there. Give that a smoosh. You always want to give it a smoosh to kind of... Okay, and make sure... I always hold it up so you can see it, just to make sure everything is even in there. And then he gets a little heart. Where'd that go? Then we're going to give him a little... And actually, I could just take this little heart since I have this glue already over here. Because see, that put that glue in there. And we're going to put that heart right in there. And now, do I want to have anything? I think I do want to do my edge before I put that on. So, we're just going to do squiggly lines around here again too, okay? I should have done those before I put that on. I'm not going to do around the edge here, so, but I do want to smush that down and that down. And these I'm going to put little dots in between. You could do squiggly lines and straight lines, or you could do your little dots in between them. So I might have to, after I get this all dried, I might have to get my clamps and clamp here and here, because it just seems like it's a little, sometimes the wood gets a little bit goofy. So get this on there. And this guy goes kind of like right in this section. There. And there. Now we're going to make a bow. I am done with my glue right now. So I'm going to put my stainless steel pin in. It has to be stainless steel. Otherwise it'll rust really bad. So, okay. And here's my ribbon. We're just going to make a bow. Just a simple bow. Come here. Just a simple bow for the bead dipper. I know those things have a name, but I'm not for sure what it is. Okay. Bring that down. Bring that down. Sometimes you have to keep working with it. Gotta bring it down, pull it tight, bring it down. And I think that looks like a good size. And then I always kind of like angle my ribbon. And where'd the rubber band go? Oh, let's see. Hey, come here. Always keep these in with rubber bands, because there's absolutely nothing worse than a box full of ribbon that, well shoot, I can't get that rubber band out of there, with ribbon tails everywhere. And you go in there to pull out a ribbon and it's like, I can't stand it. So I always keep these wrapped and with a rubber band on them. So, there. Now no tails hanging. Oops. Okay, so now we're going to glue this on. And get that there. I always kind of hold the tails together. Then let me see if I can get this glue gun out of here so you guys don't fall down. Then I always put just a little bit of glue on there. And then kind of give it a whip to get the ends off. And if you do happen to, don't use your fingers, use something else. If you happen to get, because I got just a tad bit too much glue there. So what I always do is kind of like take that little glob and pop it right off. So then put that back down there. Just kind of hold it there for a second. There. Then I'll paint the back probably tonight after it gets good and dry. So, but there's that, and then those go into get the frame. Those go into these frames that you, let's see if you can see that, yeah. There, those go in the frames. So, Melanie, if you happen to see this before I ship this off on Monday, let me know if you need a frame, okay? Because I do have extra frames. So, yeah, that's, and then it has like a little stand, you know, so for the back. But yeah, Melanie, let me know if you need a frame. So, so I think that's all. Yeah, that was pretty easy. So it's pretty simple, and I will, I got to put this new picture on my Square site because I have the old picture on there. And then I'm going to put these in my water so then I can reuse those again too. This didn't get too dirty. It got a little dirty. I'll put that back in there. So, well, okay. Let me see if I can get you guys back up here so you don't fall down. I don't want you to fall. So, you guys have a good day. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. I gotta